this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus AEW Dark. This episode of Dark was episode 67. It took place on December 22nd, 2020, and it was an hour and 56 minutes long. Baby Jesus gonna kick you down the stairs. All right, it was a long one. A couple of things of note definitely took place. Let's take a look. Excalibur and Taz are opening the show. Ricky Starks joined them for commentary in the opener. Noah Gogo right away, which is a little bit of a surprise. We had the Jurassic Express, the two members that were threatening at least, with Marco Stunt though, and Bear Country. Now, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, remember I have a 3-check system. If it is a squash match / enhancement match where one person is blatantly going to win over the other one, in my favorite stipulation in wrestling known as a foregone conclusion match, I give it a 3-check. 1 check for the correct team being put over in a way that is memorable. 2 checks for that person who's winning looking really good in the process and looking like a star. And then a 3rd check if the losing team or individual gets to look good, gets a bit of a shine, or really does an exemplary job. I like to point that out with the 3rd check. I usually also pick an enhancement talent of the week. Cool. So this match happens. I really loved the debut of Bear Country last time. This time, pretty awkward, and the end kind of falls apart on them. I'm kind of surprised they didn't re-record it, if you know what I'm saying. But it was what it was. That's the problem when Jurassic Express has so many finishers that can't easily be done to larger men, and now we see that. But the Jurassic Express win, that's for a check mark. But they don't really look good in victory, and Bear Country, for the first time, compared to last time, looked not so great in defeat. So I'm only going to give this one 1 check mark, and we are off to an inauspicious start. Second match, Nyla Rose against Tesha Price. Nyla Rose is with Vicky Guerrero, and this match is exactly what it was supposed to be. Boy, Nyla Rose just mopped the floor with Tesha Price. Tesha Price, who is one of my faves, does a really good job here. And I know you're saying, well, Steve, how could you not do a great job? But does a great job and definitely puts Nyla Rose over huge. I'm going to give this one 3 check marks. Now we got Miro, who has yet to do a single thing that I think has worked effectively. But this one does work effectively. He's there with Kip Sabian at ringside, and Sonny Kiss is there. I'm glad there wasn't a Joey Janela there to be involved in shenanigans. This was about Miro really being put over, and Sonny Kiss, nobody's as flexible. And taking that finishing move, that camel clutch and bending all the way back was really impressive looking. Looks really great. I'm sorry Sonny Kiss has the job. But then again, wrestling is about one person being held up by 2 people, being held up by 4 people, and being held up by everybody else. And Sonny Kiss, whether you want to admit it or not, has to be in that everybody else category. We've got the waiting room here. Last week's waiting room I thought was the most effective one they've done. They kind of stick to what works. There's a few jokes there in the beginning, which work well enough, I guess. And then Daniels and Kazarian come out and just take over the show. So I really can't rate the show because there was nothing really to rate. It was really about Kazarian and Daniels. Kazarian cuts a hellified great promo about how Daniels is kind of let them down. And Daniels basically says, you know, they make an agreement together that if they lose another match as a team, they're going to break up. This was really great. Let me repeat that. This was great, and it's a great way to use Dark because they can replay it tonight on Dynamite. You can always replay the great parts of a promo. And having this happen on Britt Baker's show makes her show seem more significant. And I think it's a really great thing to do with Kazarian and Daniels, and definitely gives them that babyface thing of people not wanting them to lose. And then they challenge TH2 to a match, which is even better. I love this segment all around. Home run, probably the greatest talk segment that they have done on AEW Dark. Kudos, frickin' kudos. Why is better stuff happening on AEW Dark than on Impact and on Raw? That's embarrassing, and everybody else needs to tighten up. But kudos to Frankie Kazarian. I'm a big fan of his, and he just showed me why even more. And CD, of course, is phenomenal. Really great stuff. Sorry I keep going on and on, but great is great. Speaking of great, Thunder Rosa's here, taking on Jasmine Allure. Of course, Thunder Rosa wins. Thunder Rosa is one of those handful of people that does a really great job giving the enhancement talent a few looks so they can look good, but never looking weak. And Thunder Rosa shouldn't look weak. And it definitely has fire and definitely is pushing the I hate Britt Baker thing. And it all works for me. 3 check marks all around. Stu Grayson with Evil Uno defeated Lee Johnson. And Lee Johnson, since he has been a part of the Nightmare family, hasn't done a damn thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Oh my goodness. Stu Grayson was going ham. Shout out to Dame Drops. Lee Johnson's there with QT Marshall, so at least he's got someone from the Nightmare family there with him. But at the end of the day, Grayson hits that bicycle knee and then the nightfall. Boy, we got a lot of flying knees going, guys. Lots. We've already had 3 that factored into finishes. And in a match that actually caught me by surprise. So that's 3 check marks for that one, by the way. Great job by Lee Johnson. Alex Garcia defeats Kylan King, which caught me by surprise until I realized that this was going to lead to Alex Garcia going against Hikaru Shida. Now it makes sense. But Kylan King, as always, does such a great job making people look good while still looking strong herself. I really like that neck breaker that Garcia did for the win, and Kylan King just made it look like not just $1 million, but new money as well. 3 check marks, and so far Kylan King is our enhancement talent of the week. Peter Avalon defeats Mike Verna. This match is what it is. Avalon does a fairly good job, and, you know, they're giving him this win streak. I don't know to what end, and at some point they're going to have to tell me to what end. I'm going to give it 3 check marks because I think Vernon did a really good job, and Avalon showing, you know, he's a threat, etc. But, you know, this has got to go somewhere. Is this, because I don't see this being a Dynamite angle, which means it's got to be an AEW Dark angle. So let's hurry up and get him in one, okay? Next match, Red Velvet against Vertivixen. Oh, that's her AEW debut. Man, all of these ladies from Texas. And there's a ton of women's matches, which I really, really, really liked. It made a kind of unpleasant thing I had to do this afternoon much more pleasurable that I got to watch AEW Dark. Boy, that Red Velvet, that running single leg kick thing that she does, it's very effective. Especially because they don't call it the Claymore. Yeah. Anyway, it looks good. Red Velvet looks good in victory. Vertvixen, I think, did herself some favors and will probably get booked again for AEW Dark. Good job. 3 check marks all around. The Dark Order of Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana.
Yeah, my kid likes Colt Cabana. Alan Angels, otherwise known as 5, and Preston Vance, known as 10, defeated Aaron Solo, Fuego de Sol, and Ray Jazz. All right. They showed Dark Order. They called him -1 at ringside. I think that's Brody Lee's son. Anyway, I thought that was interesting and kind of one of these quirky, weird things that they do in AEW, especially on Dark, that I appreciate. The match is a good one. The best people at doing 6-person tags are the Gun Club, because Billy Gunn is really good at directing traffic in there. The different incarnations of the Dark Order also do a good job. This is a pretty good job. It gets to be a little bit of a mess at one point, but they're getting very complicated. And they do that combination lariat and bionic elbow to get the win. That's fine. I would give it 2 check marks, borderline 3. I wasn't exactly blown away by the guys they were wrestling, but it is what it is. Not everything can get 3 check marks, though we have had a couple of Dark shows that have managed to do just that. Layla Hirsch, who I'm a big fan of. I see a lot of people aren't a big fan of her. I like her. Yes, she is not the tallest, but she looks athletic. She looks like an MMA fighter type, and she does that job. And then, her cross arm breaker looks really, really good. I like that she's beginning to avoid the moves that you commonly see connect in AEW, aka pump kick. My God. I love the Saito suplex, and then I love that cross arm breaker. I thought Maddie Renkowski did a pretty good job herself. I think I really like the chain wrestling in the beginning. I like that AEW Dark has matches that look like wrestling matches that people who are a little older would be familiar with. I think it's good to keep those traditions alive. 3 check marks. And we got the Gun Club. We got Colton and Austin without their daddies at ringside. Oh, let's see how this goes. And they're wrestling TNT. Dynamite. The twin sons of Devon Dudley, in case you didn't know. They looked better here, which is surprising because I thought Austin and Colton, I thought it would look like a bit of a mess. There is some hint of like halted kind of moves and things not looking totally smooth, but I'll say Colton did a great job when he got that hot tag, and I was worried. He's going crazy. The drop kick looked phenomenal. So, and he wins with his move, the Colt 45, which is a double underhook swinging suplex for the victory. So I didn't have to see the quick draw, that hip toss into a neck breaker that I hate so much. 3 check marks. Ray Phoenix, they're obviously going to make Ray Phoenix look great because he's going to go against Kenny Omega. And Danny Limelight really got to show his stuff. He may be the performer of the week. He looked great keeping up with Ray Phoenix, which is no small task. You know you're going to have to take some big bumps. You know you're going to have to do some crazy stuff. And Ray Phoenix lived up to advanced billing. That black fire driver looked like death on a plate. It was awesome. And Danny Limelight did a great job. 3 check marks. So far, my favorite match. And we'll see if it is my favorite match because we're now at the supposed main event of the evening. We got Matt Sydal and Serpentico. It's what you would expect with a little more of a competitive element from Serpentico than some of the other matches that we've seen. And he did that twisting fireman carry slam for the win, Matt Sydal did. And it was a good match. And I'm going to give it 3 check marks. But Serpentico always does a great job. Man. There was some better action tonight. I thought Grayson and Johnson was good. I thought Phoenix and Limelight was great. And that promo segment from SCU really carried the day. So a very good episode of Dark. I love it. Didn't see a lot of my Georgia favorites in there, but got to see some old friends nonetheless. It was good stuff. Anyway, this has been Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling.
I'm here too. I have a flag, and that's cool. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's good radio, kid. Anyway, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus AEW Dark. Shout out to the Kikaida fans out there. Sucker! Change! 1, 2, 3.
Black horse.
Black Horse, episode 7. Worst costume for life.